Right, rolling on to outfit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through the outfit that he's been in so far, and then I'm going to change him to the trench coat and talk you through what the outfit comprises of. So starting down at the shoes, obviously it's a sculpted shoe. It's kind of boot length. As you can see, it goes to there, and then he's got a white sock underneath. He's got the check trousers, which is really good detail, as you can see. Really well tailored. Goes without saying with hot toys pretty much nowadays. Odd threads obviously hanging off, but not a problem just to pull them off. Like I said, quite a nice plainish sculpted shoe. The high-waisted trousers into the green waistcoat, which has these decorative buttons, I think you can see. It's obviously got a club, a spade, art and a diamond on each button. And then underneath it's got 3 studs fastening that, keeping it down. Got the silk ties that are already completed. To be honest, they're supposed to be hung out, but I think they look a little bit unsightly if they're hanging out, to be honest. So when I get it settled in a pose, I'm going to position them how I want them. But yeah, really nice quality. Orange satin shirt, again, nice buttons and what have you. It's like a ringmaster style jacket in purple, obviously, with the buttons again there. That one don't fasten, you wouldn't get all the way around him. Sculpted gloves, I will say, I don't want it to drop out, but I just want to show you around the back of this fucker. As you can see, at the back of his jacket, really well tailored, fits him a treat. It's got the buttons and they're like fishtail back. Yeah, got the buttons up the sleeves again, stitched on really well. Excellent, like micro tailoring, whatever they want to call it. Fucking hot toys are good, and to be honest, they should be at these prices. But yeah, sculpted gloves, nice effect. Obviously, might have been better if they were real, but it's good enough. Obviously got the walking cane, I suppose that's an accessory, but just because that's how I've got him posed, I'll put the cane with him. The art goes on and off really nice. Like I say, you can position it to get different looks. It is like a flock effect art with a black satin band around it. Really nice, fits him nice. It's one of a lot of people's complaints, this art. I'll cover it in a minute when I put it on his head. And like I say, that's pretty much the first outfit. Now you do get a spare coat, so I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put the flower on it and talk you through the next one. One thing I will mention at this point, what probably won't get covered in the outfit, is this figure, like the Godfather figure, has a padded bodysuit underneath, which gives it that like a chubbier look. It's you know it's under there, but it's not too bulky. It's probably slimmer feeling than the Godfather figure, but it is under there. And it's obviously it saves Hot Toys having to sculpt a chubby body. All they do, they put like I say, a quilted bodysuit underneath. So it's a really nice touch. Something you wouldn't ever see because you're never going to strip this figure down, I won't think. But it is under there, and Hot Toys fucking they like to go that extra mile. So yeah, that's the first part of the outfit. Just going to change the pose slightly, put his other coat on. I'll get back and score it up. And now, as you can see, I put the trench coat on. I have fastened it. Obviously, you don't have to. We're a little bit of a bastard to fasten, if I'm honest. These little clips what Hot Toys are using, they're a little bit fiddly, but I have fastened it. It's a little bit too visible for my liking, so if I were going to wear it, I'd probably have the other coat on as well and have this one open. So I think that's how I would use it. But anyway, it is well tailored. Really nice material. It's lined in the body. It's not lined in the arms, so the arms don't look too chunky. It's got the handkerchief dangling here, obviously. That is satin. And then the flower on the lapel, and obviously, just take that off. So at the back of that, just this little hook. And there's some thread there. It just fits down, it slides down into there. I'll not do it one-handed. So to turn it round, I've actually stood the collar up at back. You can see the collar's lined. And there's not so much there's not a split in that one, so as you can see the stands on inside of his coat. So yeah, again, really well tailored, well stitched, good job all around for Hot Toys. So yeah, I think personally I prefer the other jacket, but it is nice to be able to change them as and when. Now, rolling on to the art. I always check up on the things that people are saying about these figures. And I think one that I've noticed on this figure that's coming up a lot is the art brim is too narrow. Now, again, I've mentioned it before with little nitpicks. Do I agree? I do, but I was looking at photos of this last night or the night before, sort of working out the width of the head compared to the width of the art. And I think it's not as bad as people are making out. People are fucking sort of saying it's end of world, but I don't think it's that big a difference. I think if it's a fucking gnat's bollock, probably a millimetre either side. If we're looking at it in that scale, maybe a millimetre either side, but it's certainly not a thing that'd make me stop wanting to buy this figure, because like I said, the art is fucking shit hot as it is, and things you can do with it. Yeah, I really like it, but like I said, I would agree it is slightly narrower than it is in the film. They could have given you another art as well, but they never. But the outfit, I can't really fault it. The tie is probably the thing that bugs me most, because it's already pleated. I wish they'd have put a fine wire for it so you could pleat it yourself and ruffle it up, whatever. But it's pretty much, because it came in a certain position, if you pull it out, it sort of hangs a little bit funny. Not annoying, but just it would be the only thing that pisses me off. So yeah, that's the outfit. I've given it a 5 out of 5. On to articulation. I think, obviously, I haven't stripped this figure down. I do believe it's just a normal true type body underneath the padded bodysuit what they've put on. So obviously the joints are all the same as a standard true type. And then obviously you've got the restrictions of the clothes. Now, the jacket does restrict it a tiny little bit, but not a massive amount. You can get him into well spread poses. As you can see, got his arms open, got his legs sort of like he could be dancing, bit of a tap dance kind of thing. I think I'm going for sort of pose like that because of the clothing he's wearing. He's got where the Heath Ledger Joker's kind of like a dirty looking fucking Joker, if you want. This one is rather fucking snazzy, quite sharp looking, always like pristinely dressed. I think that's Tim Burton's styling. So I'm going for sort of like a tap dancing style pose here. He's flipped his hat off. And like I say, he's got his cane art, a bit of a pimp look about him. Just cutting a rug with a young female. Beautiful. Maybe Vicky Vale. Who knows? You decide. But yeah. But anyway, onto articulation. Like I said, all the joints are there. The posability is top notch, really. Like I say, the jackets do restrict it a tiny bit, but you could get him in the pose you would want from the film. So there's nothing I can really knock it off for. Ankles maybe a little loose, but not annoyingly so, like I always say. If they were loose and annoyingly so, I'd say them ankles be my fucking nutting, but they're not. So yeah, other than that, joints really nice and tight, but easy to move. So on the articulation, again, I've got to give it a 5 out of 5 because there's nothing I can mark it down for. And I'm glad, obviously, that the sculpt does go right down to his lower neck, because you wouldn't want a dirty, great fucking cut somewhere underneath his ear. So, yeah, it does lower the articulation a tiny bit, but I'm glad they did it. So, yeah, and again, the articulation in the eyes, really nice on this one. I've noticed before the purse system, when you're the first person to use them, they're a little bit stiff, but it weren't too bad on this one. So, yeah, more than happy with articulation. So, like I said, I've given it 5 out of 5.